Hello, 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 and welcome to day 3 of the 5-day holiday gift fair for women over 40, where I'm showing you some amazing holiday gift ideas that you probably haven't thought of to help you, get in shape, get fit, be ache-free, make 2024 the year that you are no longer feeling sore. That is my wish for you. All right, so we are waiting for people to just hop on. If you're watching me on LinkedIn, anywhere on Facebook, say hi in the chat. The magic is all going down in my Facebook group, which is the Moving and Reshaping Club for Women Over 40. So these presentations are going everywhere because I want everybody to have a chance to be able to see these incredible gifts that keep on giving and how you can really utilize them in your life to make you feel awesome, to make sure that you are looking great, feeling great, and aging well, which is what we are all about in my world. So while people are jumping on, just say hi, let me know where you are tuning in from, and I am just going to head to the Facebook group and pin this live so that it is easy for everybody to find under the featured section. Also, all of the replays can be found under the guide section in my Facebook group. So just go to Facebook and type Moving and Reshaping Club for Women 40 Plus, and it should pop right up. Okay, so there it is, easy to find. If you are watching, if you can hear me okay and see me okay, just let me know. I just want to check. Okay, sound is working good. So let's start because I have some awesome gifts to share with you today. We are talking about shoes, okay? We're talking about shoes, and shoes are big. Shoes are big. Shoes are really the game changer. So I can't wait to tell you about some awesome gift shoes. Okay, just sorting out the tech here. Everything's cool. If you're joining us live, say hi and let me know what shoes you like to wear. All right. So welcome to day 3 of the holiday gift fair for women over 40. And we're going to be talking about what are the best shoes for women over 40 to wear that'll keep you in shape and ache-free. And my approach may surprise you a bit. And for those just tuning in today to the holiday gift fair, hi, I'm Tracy Sider. I'm a corrective exercise specialist and body alignment coach for peri and postmenopausal women who are done with their stiff, achy, changing body and are ready to learn a different way to get in shape, be ache-free, and age audaciously that no one is telling us. And I know this because I had to find out the hard way. My 12-week Reshape Method program restructures how your body aligns and reshapes and how you move so that you get more strength, calorie burning, pain relieving benefits from your exercise and just from walking around or going about your day, which is what today's session is really going to focus on. I worked for over 20 years in the publishing industry and struggled with my own nagging aches and pains and figure change in my mid-40s, even though I was a part-time yoga teacher. But at 53, I am stronger, slimmer, pain-free, and happier than I was 10 years ago. And I am passionate about showing other women over 40 that looking great, feeling great, and aging well is easy, achievable, and long-lasting when you know the missing piece in the midlife exercise puzzle. And as I've touched on in day 1 and day 2, and you can find the replays under the guide section in my Moving and Reshaping Club Facebook group, that missing piece is alignment. It's your skeleton, your bones, your posture, right? Like Skelly over here, it is about your alignment because it's the positioning of your bones, of your skeleton, which determines how well your body can move when you move. Because movement and exercise can either be medicine, right? We're often told movement is medicine. In other words, it can be good for you, or your movement and exercise can actually be the malady. In other words, it can be bad for you. It can be doing you more harm than good. And that is depending on how your body functions when you move, and the way your body moves depends on your shape, or more specifically, the biomechanical shape of your skeleton, which is the foundational structure of your body. And since most women over 40 are misshapen or out of alignment, this is the underlying reason why we struggle with body aches, why we struggle to get fit and toned. But when you reshape your alignment, which is exactly what we do in the reshape method, that is when the magic happens. And your shoes play a huge part in both causing us to kind of like get out of alignment and stay out of alignment, but they also play a huge part in fixing your alignment. But this all depends on the type of shoe that you are wearing, or more specifically on the type of shoes that your body has become conditioned to wearing. So before we dive in with all about shoes, which can be found, this is the Ultimate Holiday Gift Guide. The shoes section is on page 6, okay? It's on page 6 of the Holiday Gift Guide under the Align Your Body section. So if you still need the guide, or if you are joining us late, it's absolutely good. This is the kind of fair that you can catch up on. So I will put the link to the guide in the chat. And if you're watching me on another channel, one sec, let me just get to the right spot here. If you are watching me on another channel, on YouTube or LinkedIn or something like that, then I don't know why it's not showing me this. Hang on a sec. Give me one sec. There it is. Okay. So here is the link to get the guide. So the link should be above as well if you're watching me on any other channel. But also you can head to my website, tracysidercoaching.com, and you can find the link to the guide there. Remember, though, that I am giving out gifts to those who are joining us for the 5-day holiday gift fair, and the gift recipients will be announced next week. So there is still time to join us, and you have the whole weekend to catch up on the replays, which I said are under the guide section in the Moving and Reshaping Club for Women 40 Plus Facebook group. Come and join us there if you are not there already. And to be eligible for those gifts is super simple. Just sign up for the fair from the link or from my website, tracysidercoaching.com, and then just type done at the end of each day's session, whether you join us live or on the replay in the Facebook group. So far, the day 1 gifts have been my reshape method, aligned and kicking workshop and mini course bundle that is valued at $97 plus a half round foam roller. That is going to go to one person. And yesterday for day 2, one person is going to be getting also my aligned and kicking mini course, plus they're going to be getting a yoga bolster, which we spoke about yesterday, and I showed you all different fantastic ways to use your yoga bolster. And today's gift, so give me some hearts and love and let me know in the chat, type a 1 in the chat if you want to be eligible for those wonderful, wonderful gifts. Today's prize is a free membership to the Reshape Method 2-week preview program that is valued at $297. Plus, I will be giving you a private Zoom coaching session so that I can take a closer look at your alignment and where your body is cheating your movements. And that private session alone is valued at $250. So that total gift for day 3 is $547. All right. And all you have to do is watch today's training and type done. Okay. So let me know in the chat if you have any questions or if you are excited to get those gifts. Okay. So here's the thing with shoes and how it relates to alignment. Okay. This is super, super important because the skeleton, which is the basic foundational structure of your body, all skeletons kind of look the same. They all if you see a picture of a skeleton or a model of a skeleton, they're not, the bits and pieces are not just arbitrary arranged. The bones of your body are at specific places and at specific angles relative to each other and relative to gravity. This is called anatomical neutral, and this is the general positioning of the bones from where your body can move and work and function best. And you know, because there are some default factory specifications, it makes sense then that if you are not in the best alignment, your movement cannot happen from the best places and from the best bones, and that can cause wear and tear and aches and pains in your body, and also stop you from getting the benefit from your exercise that you would hope for, especially when you're putting in all the time and effort. So an important alignment point that I want to show you today, and as it relates to shoes, is the positioning of the leg, of the femur. Our leg is meant to be 90 degrees to the ground, completely vertical to the ground. That is the alignment point of the leg, okay? It's meant to be vertical to the ground so that your butt, your lateral hip muscles, your hamstrings, and your calves are meant to be the muscles that are holding you up and moving you, walking you, okay? So think, for example, about like a lion or a tiger, you know, walking, moving through the jungle or the savannah. If you think in your mind's eye, where is the power, the fluid strength of that animal coming from? It is coming from the hindquarters. And the hindquarters on human beings are here, this stuff, the lateral hip muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings. The problem is that our brain can only find those muscles to move us if the leg is fully 90 degrees to the ground, okay? Now, here is the rub, okay? Here is the thing. So the problem is that for most women over 40, we are actually pitched forward, okay? We are pitched forward. Stay with me. It's difficult to see on yourself. If you looked at me, you'd think, well, there's nothing wrong with Tracy. She looks absolutely fine. But if you look closely, if you take something to make a plumb line, okay, and you put it at the top of my femur, you will see that when I'm standing like this, which is how most people are standing, I am actually pitched forward. This end of my plumb line is at the front of my ankle instead of here. That is 90 degrees. That is not 90 degrees. Okay, so let me know in the chat, just type a 1 if you can see the difference between a leg that is fully 90 degrees with my full weight over my heel bone, which is where the weight of the body belongs, so that my quads can relax, or over here, where the weight of my body is more towards the front of my ankle, over my forefoot, and now my quads and my hip flexors are holding me up. That is how most women, particularly most women over 40, are presenting in terms of alignment. So what that means is that your quads, these muscles at the front of the legs, the hip flexors, which are the muscles that, the muscles that kind of like lift and lower the leg, they land up, when we pitched forward, they land up working overtime, doing the job of holding you up and walking you that they're not meant to do. Those muscles and joints were not designed to do that. They were not designed to hold you up, and they were not designed to walk you. And that kind of like overuse issue is causing all sorts of aches and pains in your body. While the glutes and the lateral hips, because we're a diagonal, they are offline, they are snoozing, they are amnesic, because your brain can't find them to move you because you pitched forward, all right? And these underworked muscles are causing all sorts of other aches and pains in your body. And one of the big reasons why we become diagonal like this, why we become pitched forward, is because of our shoes. Because you see, most conventional shoes have us in what is called a positive heel, okay? And let me show you. I will use a half round foam roller to demonstrate. Okay, so say this is your foot, all right? These are your toes. This is your heel at the back. The heel is at the back. The toes are at the front. We are meant to be, well, let me go like that. So that there's the toes, there's the heel. We are meant to be zero drop. In other words, no difference between the heel at the back and the toes at the front. That's called zero drop. If the heel is higher than the toes, that's called a positive heel. And if the heel is lower than the toes, that's called a negative heel. But here at zero drop is where we really belong, and which is where you are able to find that vertical leg. The problem is most of our shoes, and we are not even aware of it, are lifting us up at the back and pitching us forward, okay? So if you put your hand, if you look closely at any shoe, unless it's a shoe that is specifically designed to be what is called minimal, or something that has very, very little support, like a Tom's shoe, most shoes are tipping us forward. I mean, I have an example. I've got a whole lot of shoes here as an example. I've got an example here of a boot, a winter boot, and you can see very clearly the difference between the heel at the back and the toe at the front, how it has us in a heel. And then if you put your hand inside the shoe, even a conventional running shoe, you will see that most shoes have, my hand is at an angle to some degree or another, okay? It has us pitched in to some kind of heel, which means that we are being tipped forward. If you have anything under your heel, even if it's something very, very small, like when I'm talking about shoes to people and to new members of the Reshape Method, many people will say, I don't wear heels, right? I don't wear heels. We think of a heel as being something significant, but the point is zero is zero. And even if you have a small lift under your heel, it's got the heel higher than the toe, which has you pitched forward. And when I was selecting some shoes to show you today, I even put my hand in my daughter's Justice running shoe, and even for a young child, that already has her at a positive heel. And the thing is that if we have been wearing shoes that have us in a positive heel for years and years and years and years, and hours and hours and hours and hours, it means that our body lands up being stuck here. So when you take the shoes off, your body doesn't just automatically come back to this neutral alignment from where all your muscles can work properly, keeping you strong and healthy and ache-free. Your connective tissue, because as we spoke about yesterday, the body adapts to the position you're in the most, you take your shoes off and you are still pitched forward. And then that is where your movement comes from. So that is super, super important, because this means that once you've adapted to this pitched forward position, it means that you need to continue wearing shoes with a heel, because if you suddenly take the heel away, you're going to get all sorts of other aches and pains. But it also means that you are getting weaker and weaker as you age in the muscles that are supposed to move you, that are supposed to get strengthened and strong with every step you take, that give you shape and tone, that give you balance, that give you muscle mass and strength to do everyday tasks. So our shoes, our very shoes, are what is undermining. We're getting the rug pulled out from under us just because of the shoes that we are wearing. And I want to show you, let me know if you have any questions. I want to show you what this means in real life, because I know that sometimes this idea of changing alignment and even the difference that shoes can make, it can be quite difficult to conceptualize, because what we do in my world is so subtle, but it is the subtlety that makes all the difference. Because if you keep doing the same thing harder, you keep getting the same results. But let me show you what happens when you take a simpler, smarter, science-based approach and do what needs to be done to get your body back to proper alignment. So I'll just show you a few examples of what it actually means to have a vertical leg and to be able to change that. This is Evie. I mean, Evie was not even aware. Just look at how pitched forward her leg is. Right. And this is after her first round of the reshape method, how she is starting to come back to a more vertical leg. It takes time. It takes time, but already this change in just 12 weeks, and we're just looking at her vertical leg alignment point here. It's already quite significant. And you can see how there's better shape through her butt, better tone through her butt. And she said she could really feel her body was able to now walk and move from her butt, okay? Here's an example of Veronica. Again, you would look at Veronica, you would not say, oh, she's tipped forward. But when you actually draw the lines, you can see, yeah, she is tipped forward onto her quads and hip flexors. And here she is straightening out. So much better at the end of 12 weeks. Here's an example of Dr. Talia. Also, look at that diagonal leg. Talia's change was incredible. Just look, she's almost fully vertical there. Look at the change through her core. Amazing. This is an incredible transformation. You can also see how the position of her head has changed now that her leg is more vertical. And sorry, I'm looking to the side because I have another screen there. And lastly, this is Pauline. Also amazing, amazing change in alignment there. So I just wanted to show you that, just to show you, first of all, that diagonal leg is quite tricky to measure on yourself and to pick up for yourself, especially if you're doing it in front of a mirror and you turn your head, you land up changing your alignment a bit. And so it doesn't look like that you are as pitched forward as you asked. But I will give you a link at the end. In fact, let me pop it in now. If you want me to take a look at your alignment, feel free. I'm sure I put a link. Where is it? Okay, I will pop it in later. You can book a chat with me. I think I have it above. I have it above, so you can check it out over there, because I would love to be able to take a look at your alignment for you. Okay, so the first thing to look at for shoes, if you want the simpler, smarter way to get in shape and be ache-free and age audaciously, is to look for a shoe that has a 0 drop. All right, that is a super, super, super important alignment point. And I will show you an example. Okay, so this is a normal running shoe. You can see here just how the back of the shoe is so much higher than the front. This has you in a positive heel. It looks even if you look at the bottom, but if you put your hand inside, you can feel up the heel. It goes down at a little bit of a slant. Again, these are boots, also same thing. So what is the alternative? The alternative is to buy, and you can see that I've listed some of my favorite examples in the holiday gift guide, is to buy, but very importantly, to transition to what is called a minimal shoe. So here is an example of a minimal shoe. And if I put my hand inside, this is a 0 Prio. There is no difference in height between the front and the back of the shoe. All right. So we want to go from a shoe like this to a shoe like that, where you are taking out the heel. But what is really, really important about changing shoes so that your brain can use the right muscles to move you, just because what you do on the mat with exercise, we've all got so much focus on exercise, but just walking around the supermarket or just standing waiting for an appointment, these are so important for your body. It's so important how your body is able to align and therefore move for the other 23 hours in the day when you are not exercising, okay? But the important thing about shoes, and I've listed examples of minimal shoes here in the guide, the important thing is that you don't want to just be going out, buying these shoes, just stopping wearing the shoes you are and going straight into minimal shoes, because everything about your body has adapted to your current alignment, to your current position. And if you don't go through a process of transition, you can get really badly injured. We need to slowly move to more minimal shoes. Plus, we need to be doing the corrective exercise work to reshape, realign your body, get range of motion back into certain areas, get length and strength back into certain areas. And that can be done with a program like the Reshape Method, or there are other programs available as well. So that, because your body needs to be able to handle a zero drop shoe. And if you transition too fast or without the proper supervision and corrective exercises, you can get seriously injured. So type a 1 in the chat and let me know, please, that you are not going to just throw out your shoes and jump straight into minimal shoes. But type a 2 if this is making sense, and if the idea of moving to a minimal shoe is something that is interesting you. What I have here as well is this is the transition shoe that I used, and it took me about 6 years ago when I was transitioning. It took me at least 9 months to be able to fully transition to a shoe like this without getting any pain. It takes a while. You need to be doing the exercises, but you do need an in-between shoe. This isn't in the gift guide, but this is a Nike shoe, and this is a great place to start. I really do like the Nike Free Run as a transition shoe. There are other types of transition shoes. And what is nice about this is that it has way less of a heel. It's not fully zero drop, but it has way less of a heel than other conventional walking or running shoes. Okay, so that is the zero drop factor of a minimal shoe that we can be looking for. And this is the running shoe that I love. It is called the Xero Prio. I use this for exercising and for walking and running. And it is in the gift guide. There are many other minimal shoe companies, but I don't know, I love the Xero brand. I really do. But you can buy a minimal shoe from anywhere, but remember, go through the transition process. Now, the other thing about the feet, okay, is that your feet are meant to move a lot. Our feet are actually meant to be as dexterous as our hands, okay? And 25% of the muscles and bones are actually from your ankle down. And there are 33 joints in the feet. That is a lot, okay? Which indicates to us that our foot should be going through a huge amount of work and range of motion. And this good foot function is integral for the strength, alignment, and movement patterns of your whole body. The problem is that the shoe industry has been squeezing us into shoes that have reshaped our feet. Our feet have become more tapered and shoe-shaped rather than more square and wide and human foot-shaped, because we have been wearing conventional shoes that have actually squished our feet together. So on the one hand, the shoe is lifting up at the back, but on the other hand, this toe box at the front is squishing your feet together. So the other thing to look for in a shoe, in a minimal shoe, is look at the difference in the toe box between these two shoes. Look how much wider the toe box is on the proper minimal shoe compared to a conventional shoe. Because our foot, when we walk, is meant to splay and go through this whole range of motion. And it is that proper foot function that sets off, as your foot hits the ground, that sets off this whole chain reaction all the way up, allowing the right muscles to move you and support you and do all the things they're meant to do. But they can't do those things if you are wearing a shoe that has you squished, okay? Just look at, here's another example of a winter boot. Just look how narrow that toe box is, okay? So, I mean, I still have my old collection of shoes. When I put them on, now that I'm transitioned to a minimal shoe and wear kind of flat or barefoot shoes most of the time, I'm like, how did I ever squeeze my feet into these shoes? And no wonder I was had all the aches and pains that I had, because my feet and therefore my whole body couldn't do what they were meant to do. So the other aspect, the other aspects of minimal shoes that you should be looking for. The first one is a wider toe box so that your foot can spread. It's a flexible sole, right? A flexible sole so that all the bones under your feet can move. It's super, super important for balance. The problem is that a conventional shoe has us in a solid heel, so that nothing is happening under the foot, which is where all the magic happens when you are moving. So we want a wide toe box, we want a flexible sole. And the other thing about a shoe is that it needs to be able to attach to your foot, okay, which is fine. You know, that's going to be the case when it comes to running shoes and winter boots and things like that. And I'm going to go over some alternative to shoes, to winter boots, in a sec. But these are the things that we should be looking for in shoes once we've gone through the transition process. Is the wider toe box, a flexible sole, and attaching to your foot. Which, yes, many people ask me, that means that Birkenstocks are interfering with your movement and with your alignment because they don't attach to your foot and they don't have a flexible sole. This is the kind of shoe that I have fully transitioned to. This is how humans walked for many, many years. And people say, what about support? I need support. Yes, you need support if you are currently stuck in shoes that are making you weaker and weaker and weaker, because the human body for millennia was quite able to support our movement and our weight, until we started wearing shoes with support that make us weaker and weaker, make us lose range of motion. So then you get weak. So then you need shoes with support. All right. So it took me a while to be able to get the strength and the range of motion to be able to wear a shoe like this. But yes, sadly, that also means things like flip-flops and slide-ons are also out. The shoe needs to attach to your foot one way or another. And that is also a good place to start. If you just get a shoe that is zero drop and attaches to your foot, these are already things that are going to start to help. Because if the shoe does not attach to your foot, as easy it is for you to put that flip-flop on, so it's as easy for the flip-flop to fly off your foot. So what we don't realize is happening is when the shoe does not attach to your foot. And I'm bringing this up because in winter, many of us wear house shoes or house slippers that are not attaching to our feet, which means to stop the shoe from sliding off, all those muscles in your feet, and remember I said 25% of the muscles in your body are from your ankle down, they're having to make these small little contractions to keep your shoe on your foot, and that is affecting with your foot mechanics, which is affecting the mechanics of your whole body. All right, so let me go through a few of these examples. So here are winter boots. These are winter boots that I did used to wear. You'll notice that the toe box is very narrow. There's like totally a heel, and of course it is unmoving. This is the winter boot that I now use. Xero has come out with an amazing, it's called the Xero Alpine Snow Boot, and one of our Reshape graduates, Dana, just bought a pair and she loves it. That is definitely on my holiday wish list. But for like a big brand shoe, this is the Columbia. It comes in a high and a low. And the toe box is kind of like, it's not as wide as I would like it to be. It is flat. And once you are fully transitioned, you can take the insole out, which makes it wider and flatter as well. Okay, so this is the snow boot that I use. And I also wanted to show you the like the house shoes that I wear. I know some people don't like to wear socks around the house. Ideally, once you are fully transitioned, once you have the strength back in your body that you don't need this support coming from your shoes, because that support from your shoes, while it's fixing problem A, is creating problem B and C. So once you are able to be, barefoot as much as possible in winter, it gets cold and some people don't like to wear socks. So these are called, I love them, they're called Fit Kicks. I got them from the airport and they're fully wide, they're fully flexible, they're zero drop, they attach to your feet. Love these, love these. And also I've put in the holiday gift guide the new foot soles. There's a link there. And remember, none of these links are affiliate links. These are just all things that I love and use every day. And our Reshape graduate, Julie, is showing us her new foot soles, which come in awesome different patterns. And she is wearing them around the house instead of socks. The other thing about Fit Kicks, Fit Kicks or the foot soles is that they have some grip at the bottom, because sometimes socks can be very slippery, which means effectively your feet are doing the same thing as if you were wearing shoes that didn't attach to your foot, because in order to walk around the house and not to slip, all these small little contractions are coming through your foot muscles, which again are interfering with the function of the foot. And a good functioning foot is really what sets off the whole chain reaction through your entire body. Okay, so I want to show you an exercise and a stocking stuffer as well. Because our feet have been squeezed together and are like much narrower than what the human foot should actually be, we do need to start doing some corrective exercises to get the foot to open and splay. And I'm going to show you one of the corrective exercises that we do in the Reshape method to restore proper foot function and to get all those muscles between your tarsals and your metatarsals opening up and doing what they are meant to do. And then I'm going to show you a stocking stuffer that makes an amazing gift. Love them to help you with this. So let me take off my socks. This move is called fingers between the toes. So you want to cross your leg over. You could do this sitting on the chair, sitting on the floor, sitting on the couch, sitting in the bath, wherever you like to be. And you're going to take your opposite hand and then you're going to interlace your fingers between each toe. Whoa. And it's quite interesting. Okay. And you may get a sense then of your foot. Eventually, you should be able to put your whole finger through. Don't go too intensely. It can be really tight, especially if this is the first time you're doing it or the first time in the day you've been doing it. And you just take your fingers through to where they can easily sit. It may just be the tips of your fingers. Over time, you're going to be able to take your whole finger through. But of course, this needs to be done in conjunction with all sorts of other exercises as well. This is just one of the over 70 corrective exercises that we do in the Reshape method, but we do it in a fun and interesting way, right? It's not boring corrective exercises that you do for 2 weeks and then never do again. I was guilty of that for many years. Okay, let's do the other side. We're going to interlace the fingers between our toes. And if it's painful, please stop. We don't want anything to ever be painful or not to feel good. And you may want to just move around your forefoot as well, really getting that forefoot to open up. I like to go into the side again because you may see that, wow, fingers can go in much further. Second time round, third time round. So always try and go into a corrective exercise a few times. I like to move my foot, my forefoot. So I'm not moving the ankle, right? So the problem is when our feet are like cast and locked down because of our shoes, what happens is our body looks for range of motion through the ankle, and we just get this like clumping motion through the ankle instead of this splaying, almost kind of, figure 8 movement that really should be going through the foot for proper foot function and proper body function. So keep the ankle stable and just mobilize through the forefoot. Oh, it feels so good. And let's do the other side again. Interlacing the fingers through one side, maybe tighter than the other. What happened to me through this whole journey was super interesting. I always thought that my right foot was smaller than my left. It was like a whole shoe size smaller than my left. But once I started doing this corrective exercise type work and this alignment changing type work, the shape of my foot changed, and I'm now the same size in both feet. The problem is, because my right foot was so much smaller than my left, I would squeeze my left foot into a shoe that was even smaller and tighter. So no wonder I had all the issues that I had. Okay, so that's the corrective exercise to do for that. But here is the stocking stuffer, okay? Toe socks. These are toe socks from a company called Happy Feet, okay? And these are going to spread your toes just like that exercise, which means that you can sleep with these on, you can walk around the house with these on, you can put these on while you're working. And so you're doing something amazing for your aches and pains, for the tone of your body, even for your bladder and your pelvic floor, just by wearing these toe socks. Now, which is why they make such an awesome stocking stuffer, okay? Now, what's important is that these aren't yoga socks. Yoga socks are often just separators. These actually have thick loops between, so that they're actually spreading your foot and splaying your foot and allowing the muscles. Wow, my feet feel amazing after that. And actually changing the shape and the alignment of your foot, okay? So these are called toe socks. Be careful, though, that you really, really do want to transition into toe socks as well. I know that they do, for the Happy Feet, they do give some help with wear them for so many minutes a day and then go up to so many minutes. It's important that you don't overdo it, because you can injure yourself even with something like toe socks. Okay, so be sure you ease into them. Those are, if you're thinking of getting somebody socks for the holidays, get them toe socks, all right? You can also get toe separators. I'll be doing a post on that another time. Love the toe socks. Okay, that is it for today. So type done, and you could be gifted the Reshape Method 2-week preview plus a private coaching session with me. And that gift alone is worth $547. Now, I have the preview. There's 3, some people have been asking me how to join the Reshape Method. I have 3 different kind of levels for joining the Reshape Method. Well, actually 4, because there's the mini course, the Aligned and Kicking mini course. Then there's the full Reshape Method program, a different version of that called the Essentials, which is still all the basics, but there are a few other extra bonuses that aren't included. But I also have a 2-week preview, which is really giving you a taste to come into the Reshape Method, to get a private session, to join our group coaching, and to feel in your body what our type of movement and what movement coaching means, because what we are doing here is very, very different. There is nothing to compare it to. And I understand that, for us women over 40, this is not our first rodeo. You have probably tried many, many things, been to loads of different types of therapy, tried all sorts of different, shoes and gadgets and exercise, that hearing how amazing the Reshape Method is, you could probably be a bit skeptical or doubtful that it would feel different in your body, or that it will make any difference. And that is why I have the 2-week preview, where you can come into the program and try it out for yourself before you join. Okay, so that is what I'm gifting. I'm gifting the 2-week preview plus a private coaching session. And here is a link to check out what the preview is if this is something that you are interested in gifting someone, or in secret Santaing yourself. And also because there is $100 off the 2-week preview that is available as my gift to you till December 26th. You'll see on that link that there is a coupon code to get $100 off. So just reach out to me if you have any questions about shoes or about transitioning to minimal shoes. If you have any questions about joining the Reshape Method, the full or the essential before the price goes up in 2023. All right. And also because we are so close to the holidays, already a few people have joined us. And, December may be a great time for some people who are staycationing. This may be the perfect time to start the Reshape Method. But for other people, this is like the worst time to even do the preview, the full or the essential. So what I'm offering is, besides the bonuses and the specials on all these programs for December, you can lock in the current price. Take real advantage of it before the price goes up in the new year, and you can delay your start date till January. So if you have any questions, if you want me to take a look at your alignment, feel free to book a call with me. I will pop it. I found the link here. I will pop it in the chat, and I hope that you have learned. I hope that you have learned some interesting things about shoes and feet, and that I've given you some food for thought and changed your perspective a little bit. Okay, let me put the link in the chat. I know this is definitely worth a conversation, okay? Yeah, so I'm getting a question here about orthotics. Absolutely, there is a space for orthotics. You do not want to be transitioning out of orthotics unless it is under supervision, unless your medical professional has, said that this is something that you can do. A lot of the reason why we are given orthotics or told to wear shoes with heels, for example, in a heel if we have plantar fasciitis, is because the medical practitioners, medical professionals don't believe that you will actually do the work needed to be able to handle not wearing orthotics or not wearing a shoe with a heel. And that is exactly what I help you do in the Reshape Method. If this idea of going back to the wisdom and strength and proper function of your body is something that excites you, like it excited me, then there really is a solution to transition out. Okay, now that being said, some people may have issues going on in their body or may have had surgery or pins or artificial joints or whatever the case may be that does not allow them to fully transition to a minimal shoe. And we absolutely work with and around that as well. So it's definitely worth just having a conversation with me and learning more about that. Okay, so another question I'm getting is about flat feet, but I have flat feet. Great question. Great question. There are very few people in the world who actually have congenitally flat feet. The thing about the arch of the foot is that, I've heard it say from one of my mentors, Katie Bowman, that the arch in your foot is like a hole in the donut. The arch in your foot is created by what is happening around the foot, in the foot and outside of the foot. So a reason why many people have flat feet is because of what is happening in their feet, how their feet have adapted out of a proper position that the foot is meant to be in, as well as weakness through the hips, the fact that we are pushed forward and out of alignment, which means our hips and our butt can't be working us, which creates weakness and falling in through the arch of the foot. And when you are able to do the proper work to get full function back into your whole body, it is amazing how that arch comes back. that support, the shoes that give you support in the arch, they creating an arch by forcing it there, which means you aren't getting the benefit of that arch up the line of the leg, and the muscles that are supposed to be strong to create that arch are therefore just getting weaker and weaker as you age. So, you know, if doing this work from the inside out is something that excites you, and if you're excited to see that, first of all, that it's possible, that there's hope, that it's possible, that there's a path, and that there is a step-by-step, I've taken out the guesswork for you, there is a step-by-step strategy, then book a call, message me, email me at tracy@tracysidercoaching.com, or visit my website, Tracy Sider Coaching, and I can chat to you more about it and see if you are a good fit for the Reshape Method. And if you are not, I will put you onto the right people and the right program that are a better fit for you and for where your body is at right now. But you know, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And because this kind of biomechanics approach to wellness and aging audaciously and being able to really lose the body aches, which is totally possible when your body is working properly again, because so few people are actually even talking about it, because so many of us have been conditioned to just want this band-aid approach. Let's have a chat. I would love to tell you more. I'd love to take a look at your alignment and show you what is going on with your body and how there is a way through and how change is truly possible. As I like to say, you can take charge of your changing body if you just have a path through it. So I will see you tomorrow for day 4, where we will be talking about standing workstations. Okay, standing workstations are a big thing. I know so many people are switching to standing workstations, but there are good ways to use your standing workstation and not so good ways to use your standing workstation. So I'm going to be talking about why they are important, how to best use them, some great exercises to do while you are standing that will help fix your alignment, and tons more as well. And then on Friday, I will be focusing on the core and treadmills, and talking about 2 books that you can gift or gift yourself that will get you fit and healthy. They talk about one thing going on in the body that so many of us overlook that can get you fit and healthy, and you don't even need to move. It does not involve exercise. So you want to come to day 4 and day 5. Thank you so much for joining me today. Shoes are the bomb. Shoes are the bomb. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.